everybody know that
That
I'm
you
at the
what?
gym. I check
Whoa,
in
whoa, whoa, whoa,
and I let them
whoa.
know I'm going beast mode, man.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You forgot the hashtag. The hashtag is crucial to this whole gains thing. It's like that window, man. You have a 5-minute window before and after you work out. If you don't hashtag that beast mode, all your gains that workout, done.
That's it.
Yeah.
How was the intro? I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's cut the pleasantries
Yeah.
here. Welcome back to the It Tho podcast. Today, we've caught the great well. The trifecta is complete. We got the one, the only, the legend, my brother from another mother, the legendary 4-2. Not a
Yeah, man.
boy. Not a boy. Not a boy.
I
4-2.
feel I've told you this already several times. You're building me up way too much for this podcast.
Okay, as most people know, we're pretty much joined at the hip from there when we first met. We met in football, right? I don't, because we're
So
getting up
so I got
years now.
my perception of it, and that's the thing. That's the thing too. I like what you're doing with the podcast, like interviewing different people from our family and from my family and from our past to see like different perceptions and kind of just put everything together. That's pretty cool because you can kind of pinpoint like, oh, this person saw this way and I saw it a different way. Anyway, but going into the story, I became acquainted with you in football. We became friends, and here's my I guess I don't know if I've ever said this, but anyway, so I think in 6th grade I kind of started becoming friends with Ryan Mc.
Yep, shout out.
Shout out. Anyway, so I was I kind of became friends with him. So in 7th grade, again, now in a new world where I have to deal with everybody who I met the year before.
Previous year.
I said, this was okay. This is my safety blanket. This is a friend that I made, you know?
Mhm.
And then he starts talking about his best friend Trey. And so I'm like, well, so who? I thought we had something, you know?
You're like, I've already been replaced. What the?
Yeah. And so I'm like, so I'm going during the summer between 6th and 7th grade. I'm going and hanging out with Ryan at his house and playing video games and stuff. And then the next year comes around and I'm like, oh, well, let's hang out. And oh, well, I'm hanging out with Trey today or whatever. And it was kind of like, oh, all right, that's cool. Well, anyway, somewhere in that mess.
I didn't mean to catch up, but because this put in context, because we all lived essentially in the same neighborhood. So you can understand. So that's why, it was kind of like that.
Yeah. And so I don't know what happened, but I mean, me and you, I'm not trying to say like super athlete or whatever, but because it's like 7th, 8th grade football, right? But but I was a short, fat kid who, yeah, well, yeah. But I mean, comparison when you compare me to the other other kids, I was even shorter and even fatter. But on that team, I would venture to say that me and you were, as far as 7th graders go, were some hitters. You know what I mean? As far as right, I mean,
headhunters, head killers,
yeah. As far as 7th grade football goes, we're animals, right? So
studs.
Huh?
We were like
Studs, yeah,
Hashtag
exactly.
Vernon Hall of Fame. Shout out.
So then that's when I was kind of like Vernon Hall of Fame. That's when I was kind of like, all right, maybe this guy ain't so bad. Yeah. And we kind of started talking, and we all lived in the same neighborhood, like you said. And then pretty soon we dropped Ryan, and and me and you started hanging out.
Pretty much, there was a mutual trade because I think at that time Ryan were kind of like had your thing, best friends. I was, I guess, best friends with James. Remember?
Yeah.
So me and him were close, and then eventually, what happened through this time? I guess there was a trade. You know, that team wanted this team, so we kind of traded.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it was where me and you got close. They went off on their own. So I was like, okay, it's a mutual trade. Let's go. Let's go win a goddamn Super Bowl.
Yeah. But I mean, we've been friends ever since.
Just join at the hip, because, dude, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, during the summers, and kind of during the school year, but more during the summers. If I wasn't spending the night at your house, you were spending the night at mine. Uh,
Because
it,
for a
that was
time there, like you used to live in that corner house, and then I believe for like a brief time you lived like in the next apartment complex over, right? Remember that correctly?
oh yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
like a short
That
time.
was yeah. I think we only stayed in that apartment a couple months. That's actually I remember that time because I think we went. We were playing football out in the front yard of those apartments,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if I was barefooted or I was wearing sandals. I don't know why I was playing football barefoot or in sandals, but I was running. And I think you came to tackle me, and I don't know how you skid or what, but you completely peeled all the skin off of my pinky toe. You remember that?
No,
That was
no,
you don't remember that?
no.
Oh man, I mean, all the skin. I didn't know the term then, right? But now I know it was a degloving uh, of I guess I don't know, the small digit or my fifth digit on my right foot. Like it just
Damn,
completely the skin was gone.
I didn't know I
You
did
don't
that.
remember that? That's
No,
the thing.
dude.
Yeah,
But,
that's that's like a bookmark for that apartment for me.
dude, I
Yeah,
don't remember.
yeah. So for a little while, I was living like right next door to you,
Dude, we would
but
go. Not to fast forward, like we would go. So basically, we were studs. Okay, hey guys, we were studs at Vernon High School, Vernon Middle School, studs, and then we ran to the Memorial High School. So I'm gonna leave it there.
Look, hey, tell you what, we were the studs of Vernon, but Vernon was worthless in that whole like middle school football league or whatever. Like,
Not to get too like sports talk, but we were
yeah,
the Cleveland Browns. When the Cleveland Browns were the Browns.
yeah, when the Browns were the Browns, that's who we were, and we were the All Americans on the Cleveland Browns from the Cleveland.
Cleveland from that. So like, yeah, I remember we would just dude. That stripes in that corner would get it, dude.
Oh, bro.
We,
Hey, I don't know if you remember. I'm not gonna drop any names
yeah, yeah,
or or the exact situation of how it happened,
yeah.
but I don't know. Do you remember one time we were going to that Stripes? Because remember, for the people listening, we spent like every summer night. I was either at his house or he was at mine. I was at your house, you were at mine, right?
Yep.
Uh, so there was one night that we went to that Stripes right there on the corner to get some burritos, and we got
I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to that.
yeah, we got somehow we acquired like 20 burritos, 30 burritos.
to put
And,
to put in context, this is like during high school. Uh,
oh yeah,
we were told by our weightlifting coach or something like
yeah.
that of the things
I
of
was
that
training
nature.
conditioning coach. Yeah.
Yeah, of that nature to be like, hey, you guys need to tighten up this summer. You guys need to just hey, go
Mhm.
just big boy leagues.
Yeah.
And
I think summer workouts had already began also. Yeah. So we're in the middle of summer workouts
and then
where we
I remember, wasn't it the day of too? Like when he was like the missing steps, like yeah, dude, we're on it. We're basically, yeah, we're on it. Like so
yeah.
straight up.
And we ended up with like 20, 25 burritos. We had
Magically.
yeah, if you have listeners that aren't from around here, chimichangas. Uh, we ended up I don't know, and we had like a liter of Mountain Dew or something. I don't know,
Well, did we get
Doritos.
2 liters Mountain Dew?
Yeah, well, we had one for me, one for you,
Yeah,
and then
of course.
and we had like a bag of Doritos or something. And we're walking out, and our strength and conditioning coach.
No, we were at the register. We were about to pay, and then
Oh,
that's
okay.
when he.
And he just walks in and he looks at what we got and just kind of gives us a nod. And we're like, ah,
He's like, we're gonna pay for this shit. Like,
yeah.
is that what it looks like?
And we still throw him down.
Exactly. Dude, it was the best nights, dude, man.
Yeah.
It was like just, it was barbecues and like, it was Halo, right? Yeah, it was Halo, right?
Halo 2, around that era. Yeah. I remember there was one time you came, so me and like my older brother and like my older brother's best friend, like we all thought we were good at Halo.
Oh,
And,
right.
and we would like play team deathmatch all day. And I remember I told him, I was like, yeah, my friend Trey, he's pretty good. I don't know. I haven't played with him, but I heard he's pretty good. And you came over and freaking we did a 3-on-1 and
Yeah. We
it
all
was
one blood coach. They're like, I got him. Fucking just massacre. Bang.
it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't played Halo ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I switched to PlayStation after that. Yeah, but before that, I don't know, man. It's funny because we do have so many stories, and right now on the spot, I can't.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay, what stories can we tell? What stories can't we tell? Just yet.
that's part of it too. I'm like, I do have some stories in mind, and I'm kind of like,
Once we get big enough, once we get big enough, we can put it behind a paywall. Then maybe, but not those stories.
yes. Well, once we get the OnlyFans going, then we.
The OnlyFans, the Patreon, then you get to see all the X-rated stuff.
Which, by the way, can we edit this and post? Go ahead and drop my OnlyFans link right here, and it's launching tonight at midnight.
Shout out.
I'm joking. I'm sorry, guys. There's no OnlyFans.
Only for two.
Only-
Only for two. I think around this time, that's when I think it wasn't it going to our. I think it was after our sophomore year, and then we really got heavily involved with the church, right?
I think it was our sophomore year.
Yeah, because I remember then, because Krista told me the story that around this time we invited her to church, and then she wanted me to ask you about, because we do like so when me and you got into like plays and stuff, like dramas and stuff.
Yeah.
She had mentioned like there was a drama that y'all did where you had to push her off the stage, and she sold it so well that everybody was freaking out.
That I pushed her?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm sorry. I don't remember. But I mean, we did a lot of dramas, right? And we
A lot.
probably were kid. I mean, we were kids. I don't know. We probably got way too into them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember the one when we had the chains, and we did it at some show, like in a dirt. I don't know, a little plot of land. It was like dirt,
Yeah.
and I think I was like bleeding at the end of that one, and like I had marks all over my shoulders from the chains. That we wrapped the chains through our shoulders, and there was people yanking on them. And yeah, I'm sorry.
We sell out, okay? If people get this is why we're best friends. This is why we're brothers, because we sell out. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Dramas, what? Football, what? Burritos,
Yeah.
what?
What
All in.
podcast? What?
What?
No, yeah, I don't remember. I'm trying to think.
I remember spring break camp. That was
our sophomore year. When I first went to spring break camp, it was our sophomore year. And that was, I remember that because I had you were inviting me. You and another friend from school were both inviting me to the same one. And I was like, yeah, bro. You got it. I'll be there, whatever. And I had already made plans to go to the island and party out. And but I was telling you, I'll be there. And so I was just, what a crappy friend, right? I was just gonna bail. Come on,
years of brotherhood, and then all the way I get I'll be there. But, hey, I get it.
I was 16 years throwing Jesus at my feet over the island on spring break. 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, I get it.
So 16-year-old sinner.
16-year-old heathen.
Yeah, and so so I remember I had made plans already to go to the island during spring break, and I think you called the night before, and my mom was pretty religious, right? And so you called the night before to ask if I was still going, and I guess my mom hangs up the phone with you, and she comes to me and like, hey, what's this about a camp and this and that, and you didn't tell me, and she's upset, right?
Oof.
And uh, like the whole you didn't ask permission, you didn't say anything,
Yeah,
like more what seemed like more upset that oh you made plans without asking me
yeah, yeah.
type of deal.
Hmm.
And so she's mad, and so I'm like, okay, this is just gonna play in my favor. Like she's not gonna let me go,
So a win-win here. All right,
Like,
cool.
yeah, and she's like, pack your bags, you're gonna be there tomorrow, and well, just because of church, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, you're going.
You, you think you were gonna go? Well, guess what? You're gonna go now, pal.
Yeah. So I ended up going, and it was a great experience, man. Um, I mean, I've got nothing to, I guess, I got no reason to try to hide it or whatever. Maybe I'm not, or no, I know I'm not. Uh, I'm not devout at all anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, like
that doesn't mean
on
that
that
doesn't
note,
mean what's up.
I would say, oh, like on that note, like yeah, I can read too. It's like I'm not like, it's not, what's the proper way to say? It's like like not like not
Like,
super religious like anymore. But it
yeah,
doesn't mean
like
I'd rather just follow what the good book says instead of being like,
yeah, like
so on that note, like from there, because I think was it kind of like not no past high school stuff. Like you kind of went on a different path. We don't have to get too much in detail because I know stories. I don't know what stories you're gonna tell, but would you say like that foundation of that did it help out like in the long run? Would you say?
well, I guess I haven't given that much thought. I'd say it gave me some good experiences. I guess in my teenage years, um, it helped me feel like I did my couple years of community service, for the church or whatever, and another participation badge or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as the type of person I am today, I wouldn't say it had a huge impact those years. Uh, I guess on today. In those years, yes, it was great, and it did have a short term impact on my life. But really, the long term impact that Christianity has had on my life really was embedded by my mom because she was, um, again, maybe not the most devout Christian, but she was a strong believer,
Hmm.
and she embedded those values in us as we were growing up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, there's it's funny because sometimes I will talk religion to people and they have no idea. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the knowledge I have on it is only scratching the surface. But some people don't realize I have the knowledge that I have. And it wasn't even because of those years that we were more devout in church, those teenage years. It was more because my mom bringing us up and telling us the stories and reading the Bible to us and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
uh, like I said, it did give some good experiences, and it was a little feel good time in my life. But the actual lasting effect in my life, who I am today, was more because of the values that my mom instilled in us.
Well, for those that know, around this time, was it a few? Wasn't it? I don't remember the year exactly. She had passed away. I don't know if you want to.
Shoot, 2010. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I can kind of give. I don't know if your listeners want all this, but I can kind of go deep in and get personal. I'll
Floor is yours, man. Floor is yours.
try not to put too much out there. Um,
Yeah, of course.
but I will say this. So, and this is again my own personal experience and perception. Like Daniel's gonna have a different story because Daniel made some different decisions. Uh, Kenneth, Kevin, my older siblings, like everybody's gonna have a different story.
Yeah.
And I think mine is going to be more different from anybody's because there's a lot of people who stuck around and I didn't. Like I went off to start living my life after that happened.
Yeah.
So my mom passed in 2010, and I want to say I don't know if it was shortly after or shortly before. Uh, I also had a girlfriend cheat on me or whatever, so it was kind of like a slap in the face, or everything just kind of.
Yeah.
I was 20. Yeah, I was 20 when my mom passed, and so uh, to me that was like, and it was really selfish of me. I know it was really selfish of me, but I made the decision that okay, well, I don't want to. Even though I had three younger siblings, I could have probably used a role model, and I had my dad uh, and other people in the house that could have really probably used me there. I decided that you know what, I mean, my mom's not here. I don't want to, you know. I would walk into the house, and you think of that person,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want to be there. And
Yeah.
then, and I hate to play like the violin or whatever,
Yeah.
and
The
and
little
play,
violin.
play
Yeah.
play the emotional card or whatever, because I believe everybody is responsible for the decisions they make. Like where you are at in life is just an accumulation of the decisions you've made, and everybody needs to be accountable and take responsibility. Like I firmly believe that, and that's a good reason why. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think that's a good reason why I am where I'm at in life now,
Mm-hmm.
because the guy I'm about to tell you about was not on the road to being where I am now. So anyway, so I left the home. I put a lot of trust in an older friend of mine who really had nothing going for him, and was just a liar and a cheat and no good. And uh, I'm sure he's still living the same way today. I haven't talked to him in years, but he was just really a bad person for me to look up to at the time.
Yeah.
And I really looked up to him, and we went and we got our own apartment, and uh, I just started. I worked a lot. Don't get me wrong. I was responsible enough to work to pay my bills, but I also went on like a 2, 3, or 4 year binge. I don't know how long it was, of just drinking and like drug use, and it was just all partying, all girls, all these things that just aren't gonna take you anywhere. As long as my rent was paid and there was enough food, and I mean just enough food
Yeah.
to get by. Like the rest was just partying, bro. And it was, don't get me wrong, it's fun. And if that's what you're into, and if you want to go have some drinks and stuff, I don't know. I don't condone like drug use or anything, but like if you got to do whatever you got to do to relax in the safety of your own home or whatever,
Yeah.
that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. And I've been there, I've done it, like, and I'm not trying to belittle anybody who is in a tough spot right now. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that for me, those decisions I was making were self-destructive and leading me nowhere. And I did it for years. I wasted years of my life doing that because I wanted to be hurt about losing somebody. So this actually leads me into another great uh, step. And I hope that was enough detail, because I was trying not to give too much detail, but I hope that was enough to paint a little picture.
Yeah. You're good, bro. Keep going. You're good.
And so it leads me into like the next phase. So my fiance, I ended up meeting my fiance during that phase,
Mm-hmm.
or on the tail end of that phase, and we started dating, and she kind of, without ever forcing my hand or anything, without ever like, hey, well, you need to quit drinking, or you need to quit doing this, or you need to quit doing that. She still somehow made me want to. She made me want to make the right decisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Be
And
better.
yeah, and so I kind of started figuring it out. Thankfully, like I never had any. The only true addiction, like rough addiction for me to drop even to this day, is like tobacco smoke. thank God, like nothing else, none of the harder things I was doing, like
Yeah.
really got a hold of me. I was able to drop it. Like I'm not even a huge drinker, really.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know. She helped me make some better decisions, and it was all stuff that I already knew, and I had the right mindset. I just was putting the energy somewhere else, and now it leads me to like what I was just saying a minute ago. The whole philosophy, like that guy was going nowhere, and it's until you, I believe, until you take like responsibility for your decisions and you take accountability and you say, "Hey, I am where I'm at because of me. Like I'm messing this up. I'm in a tight spot uh, because of things that I've done." I think that's like where you start. And okay, so how can I fix it? Don't just sit there and say, "Oh, I'm here because of things I've done. For me, help me." No, okay, how can I fix it? What's the next thing to get me better? And so I started working two jobs. Okay, so I'm working two jobs, paying minimum wage, making still like
Was
trash money.
was that the time like you worked at security Los Indios and then you were like work at Stripes, right? Was that was it?
Yeah, so I would work. Well, at first it started. I was working Walmart in San Benito, and I was working at Stripes. This is when I started to turn everything around. So I would work graveyard at Stripes, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then I would get out of Stripes and I would go to Walmart. The shift would start either at like 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. And I'd work there either like 9 to 3 or 11 to 7, something like that.
Mhm.
And then I'd get out of work and then go back to Stripes 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I was just doing that. And hopefully, if I got a day off from one, I got a little bit more sleep that day.
Oof.
And yeah, and so, but it was the genesis
Of,
of
of,
this.
of having your fiance there around this, you're basically the turning of the tide. Did that really give you that extra kick to be like, okay, now I really got to get my shit together? Because, I got somebody like in my life now that's kind of supported me in a way.
Honestly, it's a yes and no. So I kind of want to give her like all the credit for it,
Mhm.
but then at the same time, like I don't know, because I it's it was an idea I already had. I
Right.
knew the lifestyle I was living was not sustainable. I knew it wasn't going to lead to success, and I already knew.
Better question. Okay, if would you say would she help you stay focused? Like stay.
Oh, and like as I started, like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh absolutely, absolutely. Um, just because, like I said, it was more of okay, if I don't care for myself and I don't care, because even today, bro, honestly, this stuff here, it's because of my family. You know what I mean? Like I can live in a hole. I don't need anything. You know what I mean? I can live in a hole with like two pairs of jeans and like three t-shirts and I'm good. Like I'm good. I can eat Vienna sausages every day and I'm fine. Like
Same, dude.
I don't need anything.
I haven't
Uh,
cooked for clothes in ages, dude, because I only have my work clothes. That's all I need. Like, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
that's
And
what I need.
so absolutely having her around, if okay, well, if I don't care enough about myself to correct things, it was good to okay, well, I have this person here who I want to make sure I can give her the things that she likes. And I'm not trying to say she's like super spoiled or anything, but when I met her, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. But when I met her, she was very like designer purses and stuff. You know what I mean? So she was very pinky up, and yeah, she was very pinky up. So it gave this little poor boy like a goal. You know, like I have to make money. I have to live in a nicer place. I have
Oh yeah.
to yeah, like I have to get my own like get good transportation. I have to be able to provide.
Yeah, yeah.
Still, it was still early in the relationship to where like I didn't know she was gonna be. I didn't know we were gonna start a family. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it was still like I had that support system there too. Also, through the years, it has not changed from the beginning till now. She has been an amazing support system. Even right now, like I was telling you earlier that I just started going to school. I'm taking my prereqs for the paramedic certification,
Mhm.
and uh, she today, even today. So I'm behind on some of my classes. I'm trying to catch up, and uh, she's so I don't know if you know. Well, yeah, you do know. So we have a little girl who's a year and gonna be 3 months in a couple days.
I was going to ask you about that, kind of transition to that, a segue into
Mhm.
that. So from your from what you said, from that life of doing that,
Sorry,
you know,
I jump around a lot.
yeah, putting up your bootstraps and really focused, and basically gutting toward a goal to starting a,
Mhm.
like I said, to starting a family with a fiance. How did that transition go from basically, the journey to fatherhood? Essentially, is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, so um, it was long and it was hard.
She said.
I mean, no pun intended. but but uh, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't an overnight, and that's the thing too. As far as like when I was younger, I'm just gonna say younger people because I know it's what I thought when I was younger.
Mhm.
I was always looking for the hey, get rich quick, like make it happen. And no, it took time and it took a lot of work. And maybe it took me longer than it should have, but that's what it was. So figured it out, working these two minimum wage jobs, making just enough money to get by, and just always looking for opportunity. So I'm not gonna say I was perfect and always in that mindset or anything, but whenever I would kick myself into that mindset of I need something better, how can I make myself better? What can I do to move forward? So I knew the two jobs wasn't sustainable either. That was ridiculous, and I was bringing home maybe 400 or 500 bucks every 2 weeks from each one. So I was bringing home 8, 9, maybe a grand if I was lucky every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, long
Yeah,
hours too.
yeah. And so I knew it wasn't sustainable. So then I go looking around for better jobs or whatever, and I think at one point I ended up being a warehouse worker at a furniture store at $10 an hour. So it's a little bit better, right? A little bit. And it's good, whatever. Living situations are changing. And I think at this point I'm staying with her family. Still not where I want to be at in life, but it's allowing us to have a little extra money
Right.
to do some different things, right? To move forward. So I'm not saying go ask for help. But anybody in a tough situation right now, I'm not saying like go and strike down your pride or anything, but don't be so prideful not to accept it when it's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying go ask for handouts because at least for me, my pride, I want to do everything by myself as much as possible. I understand that it's not feasible to do everything alone, but as much as I can, I want to do it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we ended up getting the help from her parents. Her parents offered it. Hey, move in, save some money, move forward. So I was working in the warehouse, $10 an hour, and then a management position came available. I applied for the management position, the ops manager, operations manager there, and this is actually when I was working with Adrian. Shout out to Adrian.
Shout
He's
out.
another. That's a legend right there. That guy's a legend.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Love
I'm working with
conversations.
Adrian, and I applied for this operations manager position. The store manager interviews me, tells me, "You've got it. It's yours." Right. Next day, he interviews some other female from the warehouse, like in McAllen or something, and she's got the job. So yeah, and so I approached him about it again. Now this is the Joel that was like hard
Hustling.
nosed. I'm
Hustling.
getting my bread, like I'm getting my opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is mine. So I go and I confront him like, "Hey, bro, like what's up? Like, what was the difference there? Why did she get it and not me? Like, you told me yesterday. You said that that job was mine." Oh well, she's got experience working at the warehouse and running this and that and blah blah. I'm like, yeah, 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 whatever. You told me it was mine. And he's like, oh, well, why don't you apply for a sales position, commission? And again, this is at the time when I'm like really driven, I guess. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll bet on myself going on commission. I'll bet on myself.
Yeah.
I applied. I interviewed with the regional manager. I got the sales position. was making decent money. I can turn this into a lot longer story, but I'm just gonna say that I ended up getting about 5 years of sales experience under my belt, 4 or 5 years, and some of it was really good when I was selling furniture, and some of it was really bad when I was selling insurance. The whole time, man. I mean, I know there's got to be a part two to fill in the gaps, but I'm not lying when I say it was a roller coaster. I had some really, really high ups and some really, really low downs, and there's a lot of tough times where you really just had to grab them and say, like, let's
Yeah.
do this. And so I'm saying all of this to say that through all of this, my fiance has been nothing but a leg to stand on. Like she's been support 100%. So I finally decide that I want to get into to the fire department. I apply for the fire department. I become a firefighter EMT basic. Now I am making more. I'm making enough to provide for my family. I just bought a house. Like we're doing well.
Bought a
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
Bam.
yeah. So just bought a house. I have a beautiful baby girl. I've got another one on the way, and we are just. I mean, don't get me wrong. Life is still life, and it's still tough, and it throws curveballs, and I mean, there's frustrations every day, and there's a lot of noise that can kind of throw you off your track. But I think me and my family have figured it out,
Mhm.
how to roll with the punches and everything. And again, not to toot my own horn, but I have worked really hard to get to this point where I can say, yeah, like toot, like I went from being a scumbag, like with no future, to working and working and working to be where I'm at
Yeah.
today. And I'm not done. I'm not done.
That's what makes it legendary for too, because from an outside perspective, like I saw the roller coaster because there'd be times when you'd be going through that stuff. You would call me, reach out, and then be like, "Kid, I'm going through this right now. I don't know if I'm gonna do this." And then, like a week would go by, like, "Dude, I got it. That's old news. I'm on my new shit right now." So you just kept going and going and going, and just from an outside perspective, just witnessing all that through the years and years, it's like, dude, you legend. like like
I mean,
you said,
I wouldn't say all that, man, because there are so many other great people out there, so many great like entrepreneurs and hustlers, bro. Like, I mean, one guy I don't follow too much and listen to everything he has to say, but one guy I do look at uh, is like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, right?
Mhm.
Or
Right.
there's a guy named Grant Cardone. Everybody look into that guy. Sorry, shout out. I don't know what I have to say for. I don't know if I'm not supposed to be name dropping, but Grant Cardone. He's got a couple of books that I listen to because I hate to read, so I listen to it on Audible.
Same,
I'm
same.
just I'm dropping everybody right now. But I listened to that, and he was one guy that helped me out a lot when I was doing sales. There's guys that I look at, bro, that
But
they
it's
make me look small. These guys, their work ethic and what they do. I mean, I'm just, bro.
bro, because like you're in it,
I
like you understand, like,
more than you, bro. There are even guys in my own department where I work. Even you yourself, Adrian, bro. I'm a normie. Like yes, I've worked very hard to be where I'm at and toot toot, but it's a very small toot. Like I'm
no,
not done
it's
yet.
all big too. Like, dude, you're like got the house, you got everything. Been there, it's a lovely house. It's like, dude, it's like, but it all started because at one point I want to hit on is you had that mindset from the beginning and you didn't let anything get you off that path. Once you were basically when you had your blinders on, you're focused. You just let's go.
Well, and that's a point I want to hit on too, bro. Like, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, if you say it and if you will it and if you believe it, it'll happen." Like, yes, yes, by all means,
Yeah,
like stay focused. But just saying it and willing it and wanting it to happen isn't gonna make it happen. Like, you have to wake up, get up, and do something about it. I put on a little extra weight. Like, I feel flabby right now.
bro.
You know what I'm doing to fix that? I'm waking up at 4:30 every morning. I've got to wake up at 4:30 tomorrow to
What?
go to the gym.
What?
You go. I'm gonna go sweat a little bit.
What?
I'm gonna come back, shower,
What?
get ready, go to work a 24-hour shift, get out of there, go to the gym, go to my second job. Like
Yeah, it's that
it's
but
the things that people don't see. Like
it's that mental tough extra effort. It's like it's
because
like
I'm saying everything right now, and it sounds so pretty, right?
but it's
But
it's not being afraid of getting down and dirty. It's like
yeah,
you gotta be willing to put in the work. Is because like just go off what you're saying. Like I think most people nowadays, just like, hey, I want that, give me that. Change the
yeah,
laws and give me that.
yeah,
It's like, dude,
yes, yeah.
you gotta bust your ass to get
Go out and
where you
get
want to
it.
go.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, bro. Like, and that's why I'm saying I'm small, bro. I'm a normie because I'm putting in work, bro, and this is nothing. Like, okay, so my
But
family, yes, my family's comfortable, and we just bought a house, and I've reached a lot of my goals, yes, but I'm not done. And there are people out there that put in way more work than me. There are people that I speak to every day, not even celebrities, bro. People that I speak to every day, like in my own department, who have accomplished so much more in such a smaller amount of time. Like, yes, I've worked for what I have, but there are some people out there, bro, that they're like they blow my mind how hard they work. But that's what it is. That's what it is. You can say you want it all day long, but if you don't like pull up your bootstraps and go after it, like you're not gonna get anywhere. You're not gonna get anything.
nope,
Like take responsibility for your actions, get up and go work. Like
exactly.
seriously. Like you with the podcast and the live streams, the gaming and stuff. That's something you wanted to do for years, bro. That was something I was there at the genesis of that. You know what I mean? Like it's
Shout out
been
to
years.
yeah, yeah. What up?
It's
What?
been years, bro. And
Yeah,
you finally said, I'm gonna make it happen. I don't care if I have people with me because I don't care if I have people with me in the booth or not. Like I'm gonna you went out and you made it happen. So that's what I think that's the point I'm really hitting on right now. I didn't even know this conversation was going to go this way,
no, I'm fired
but
up for. I want to because we go for days because it's like
I feel strongly about it.
because like oh, I do too because I think that's why we're like this son we're like this. It's
Yeah,
just like that blows my mind because people just don't get it. It's like, dude, you want nice things or like not necessarily nice things, but you want to live like that lifestyle. Do work at it. You got to work
yeah,
at it. And there's
yeah. Like,
no
and it,
excuses, only explanations. Get it done.
yeah, and it's in every aspect of your life. You want to be smarter. You want to hire certification or whatever the case. Study, get up, do the work, and study.
Use
You want
resources
to be
like
stronger. You want to look nice. You want to go to the beach and look good. Get your ass up. Go to the gym. Like,
mhm,
go work out. You want a higher paying job. Okay, your ass for a higher paying job. And
right.
if you want all of those things, then get your ass up at 3, 4 in the morning and get started. Work all day. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, I am not one of those people that works all day. I will be honest. That's why I'm saying there's so much more potential there. Like I wake up, yes, at 4:30. I get up at 4:30, I go to the gym and I do what I have to do, right? But I'm in bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. This is late for me. You know what I mean? Like,
What you just kept hammering is damn true. Is never like be satisfied. Always looking for the next goal. It's like okay, I've climbed this far. You're still going up, pal. We're still going.
yeah, bro, because there's just if you really sit down and take 10, 15 minutes to think to yourself about it. Like, is there really ever any end? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want you to be like, oh, that one guy who wastes his whole life away chasing money. Like, no, like get your priorities straight. Realize what you want to do this for. Me, like, I think my reasons are pretty fulfilling. I want to provide the best life I can provide for my family, whether that's financial or not. Like, I make sure I have enough. That's one of the reasons why I'm saying there's still a lot of potential left because I block out a lot of work time for family time because that's important to me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think I have my priorities pretty straight. So don't get it mixed up. Get your priorities straight, figure it out. But going back to what I was saying, like if you really think about it, there's really never an end to growth. So let me tell you this: like I've become my firefighter EMT, right? And I'm pretty comfortable, and I can stay here forever and be comfortable. I'm gonna get raises every year for longevity pay. I can try to rank up to driver, lieutenant, whatever, and I can get more money and I can be comfortable here. I can.
Hmm.
But why? Why stop right there?
Exactly.
Yes, I want to rank up to driver. I want to become a paramedic. I'm still playing with the idea, but I think I might want to become an RN one day. There's a paramedic bridge to nursing program. So I mean that might be in my future. Who knows? Maybe it won't.
Hmm.
Uh, who knows? And if I keep going down that route, hey, why not become a doctor? You know what I mean?
Why not?
Okay, okay, that's still not the end. Okay, why not run, or doctors do kind of run the ER? Why not become like a director of a hospital? Why not own a hospital? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why not buy a bunch of real estate and be a real estate tycoon? You know, like there's no,
there's always another level, no step.
yeah,
Like the best
yeah,
analogy I tell people, it's like, okay, look, let me break it down to you like this. You upgrade your iPhone every year, right? Like, yeah, because I want the new things. Well, take the same approach to your life. Instead of upgrading your phone every year, upgrade your life every year. It's
yes,
that
yeah,
simple.
yeah,
Priorities.
and it really is.
Priorities.
Yeah, and I want to make sure everybody gets the right idea though, that it's got to be for the right reasons.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't just go chasing money, because then you're just, that's exactly how you end up at that spot where you've got really nothing that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause
make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
that's another point. I think we'll finish up with this point. There'll definitely be a part two because there's a lot more we can get into. But that point I want to hit on that you said, I think when you have your job, it's important to have something that you enjoy and going back to every day. Because if you don't have that, then why the hell are you doing it?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yes, like the success, or whatever, blah blah, work. But you have to know what you're working towards. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I knew from the early on when I was doing these other jobs that I didn't really love, I knew what my goals were, and that was to help support a family and be able to raise a family and be financially stable enough to. In my opinion, unless you drop $1 million on me right now, I'm not going to be financially stable ever in my life. But just to feel comfortable enough, you know what I mean, and be able to provide a life. I knew those were the goals,
Right.
um, and I just kept. I guess I kept picking up different sledgehammers, and until I found the one that, you know, that felt right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kept trying different. Oh, you know what? Or even so, like maybe I didn't have enough money to afford the sledgehammer I wanted, and so that security job was gonna have to do for right now, because I don't know how to better myself into that position.
Right.
But while I'm doing this, while I'm swinging with this shitty ass hammer, I'm gonna figure out how I can buy that hammer. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
It's
upgrade until I found something that I love.
it's planning, executing, and just
Yeah,
like yeah.
yeah. And there's nothing wrong with. Okay, so I know a lot of people will look at somebody, because I've held a lot of jobs, bro. I've held a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people would look at that resume and be like, oh, you did a year over here, you did a year over here, you did a year over here, you did 2 years over here. And okay, so you're unreliable. No, it's just I don't know what I want to do. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that,
Yeah.
because you're trying to look for what you want to do. Just don't be like me and, well, no, I figured it out by 28. Um, just don't wait till you're 30. You know what I mean?
Bro, isn't that crazy? We've known each other how long now? Like we're almost yeah,
How old were we? Uh, how old were we in seventh grade? What is that?
15, 16?
15's freshman year. 15,
Sweet.
14, 13?
14, 13?
13. Now I'm 30. I don't know. I know you're young.
I'm gonna be 30. Dude.
Uh,
Oh.
I feel like I've been having. I feel like well, no, I feel like we got to talk about something fun, bro, because I feel like this whole podcast has been tooting my horn. Like all I did was I went and I found this horn, and all I did was toot it the entire podcast. I feel terrible. Like you can do that in there too. I want the people to see that. I want them to know that I'm being self-centered here. Like I
Tell the
understand
truth.
that. Yes.
Tell the truth. Come on. If you watch this podcast, get a notepad and get a mirror, write down some notes.
So, honestly, I don't want to I'm not even trying to take credit for any of that. All of this is just regurgitated information that I've gotten from somewhere else, from all of these great people that I've been talking about that have an impact on my life.
But that's everything else. That's life. Everything is basically regurgitated. Like it's like people the dude who invented chicken Caesar salad. Like you think you know what I'm trying to say? People make chicken Caesar salad. They're not taking credit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just because that waiter brought you the chicken Caesar salad doesn't mean he invented the chicken Caesar salad.
You know what I'm saying? It's regurgitated. I mean, hey, you want to lose weight? Baked chicken and salad. It's not rocket science. It's regurgitated information.
And that's what I'm getting at, bro. Anybody with any kind of
Like anybody can be handed a car, but anybody can be handed a guitar, but very few people can make that puppy sing. You know what I'm trying to say, pal?
yeah, I hear you.
A lot of people hear that information that you got the information from, but they don't do anything.
What are you gonna do with it? Yeah.
And I think that's the point we're gonna wrap up here at this podcast. Is like, because there will be part two. Just to know when. Just be on the lookout. It's like if you gotta just take all this in and learn, okay, and then go with it. It's kind of like, to bring it back to the whole like the religious type of thing. It's kind of like that old thing, you know, faith without works is dead, and like so if your name is dead without any work, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. That was actually I guess a big part during the whole beginning. Like I said, I've gotten away from all that, so I haven't actually heard that verse in a long time, but that was actually something I would hold on to early on. Like, so I would have these dreams and I would want to work towards them, and whenever it was just a shitty day or whatever, or just, you know, you want to give up, like nothing's going your way, bro. At one point I had like warrants for traffic tickets that, you know, I didn't even have a license. Like, things were bad, bro. And so that was something I would tell myself every once in a while. I hadn't actually said it or heard it in a long time, that faith without works is dead. That wraps up the whole podcast right there. Like, you can have faith all you want. You can want something so bad till you're blue in the face. Like, you can want it with every fiber of your being. If you don't put in any work,
it's not going nowhere. And usually, Joe, I would tell the guests, like, hey, what's one thing you could say to the public? But I feel like you just gave like just. But if you got, huh?
A little premature. It always happens.
Happens. I swear to God, it never happens all the time. You got one thing, one last thing, one final point.
Oh man,
other people.
I already wasted it though.
Is it though?
Is it though? Oh, is that what the setup was?
Yeah. See,
wait.
there,
Okay. This is how you gotta do it. You gotta be like,
here's the alley oop, and you looked at it like, oh, that's what that is.
No, here's how you gotta do it. Okay, so you're cutting all this part out, right? So
maybe.
Maybe.
I'm leaving
So
it in.
you gotta be like, all right, Joel, well, that's the end of the podcast. And I'm gonna be like, is it though?
All right, let's try it. All right, well, I guess we dropped on knowledge bombs. I guess that's the end of the podcast.
Is it though?